Hey folks, it's Wade the Shoe Dog. This is my newest inspirational message for you getting into the shoe business. Don't screw up. Hey, I'm kidding. Hey, listen, we just finished an hour and a half session, live session. Sorry you missed it, but it's okay. I'm actually gonna cut to like the super important part, which is our top 10 things not to screw up when you're starting a shoe company. And you can find. Thank you for watching this video. Love it. I want you to if you want to see the full event, come over here to Shoemakers Academy events and hit live event replay. This is where that video is going to live. By the time you're watching this, the video is going to be up here, and you'll be able to watch the whole hour-long presentation. And while you're here, come on and check out our courses. If you want to start a shoe business and you don't want to screw it up, then this is a great place to start. We have beginners courses, business courses, and then you can dive into the weeds. It's all here for you. Let's get on with the presentation, and we can come back to that later. Okay. So like I said, my inspirational message: don't screw it up. But hey, I'm here to help you not screw it up. So let's get moving. Okay. Why should you listen to me? Hey, I've been in the shoe business for about a million years. No, about 30 years. And I've been a designer, developer, product manager. And here you can see it's me. I'm here in the factory. So I'm doing this work. And I know a fair amount about how to get this stuff done. And again, my goal is to help you do this with the minimum amount of drama. Okay. So you can I showed you on the website already, but this is the book that a lot of this information comes out of, and this is the shoe business startup course. If you want to dig deeper, then this is the course. This is a great way to sort of get your feet underneath the table and figure out what it's really about to get a shoe business started. Okay, so let's get on with it. I'm going to help describe not just a footwear business plan, or not just a business plan, but a footwear business plan. What does that look like? You know, it can be quite daunting to create a business plan, but in the course, we discuss what it is to create a brand plan, a product plan, a financial plan, capital plan. Those are actually two different things. Manufacturing plan, sales plan, distribution plan, marketing plan, growth plan. And I know we're talking about starting a business, but how you structure your business is pretty important depending on what your exit plan is going to be. So we talk about that too in the course. Not tonight. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what can go wrong. And I don't want to be sort of negative Nelly about this whole situation, but I want to at least go over a few things that mistakes you don't want to make. And if you look out for it, then you know what's coming and you won't make these mistakes. So let's get down. Okay. Lack of product market research. Hey, if you got a great idea for product, fantastic. Share it with some people and make sure that this is a thing that can really work. Okay. This is just when you're just thinking about how you're going to do these things. Think about the structure of how this product is going to work. If it's something that people can buy more than once, if it wears out, or is it you're going to use it one time for one special thing, right? So think about interest or a hobby or a sport or something that people are going to do, and if they love your product, they have a chance to buy more, and maybe other products that you can sell to go with it. But decide if there's a market for what you're trying to do. I mean, this is the cool thing about this day and age, which is the whole micro market. But make sure your micro market is enough to feed yourself. Okay. Um, Poor branding and product positioning. So, um, you're most of the folks I work with are in fact starting out a new brand. So your brand better be compelling, and it better be compelling to the people in the product and the category that you want to get into. So, if you're making an outdoor shoe, then calling it New York City is not really a great idea. If you're making ultra urban, high tech, whatever office shoes, then maybe calling it Teton Mountain ain't the right thing to do. So think about how your product is going to be placed and positioned in the market, and think about your branding strategy. In particular, I'm working with a client who's been making sort of service shoes for almost 100 years. But now they want to make athletic shoes, and their current sort of brand marketing persona and logos, it's not going to work. So we had to work with them to create a new logo so they could launch into this new category. So you got to think about those things. Inadequate product design. Now, if you're starting a brand, like I said, your product's got to be absolutely unique, but it's got to be amazing. There's got to be something special about it, and if you're about to spend a couple of years and a couple $100,000 or whatever it ends up being, you better be in love with it. And if it's going to jump off the shelf, it better jump off the paper or jump off the screen first. So make sure you're in love with it, because you're going to have to live with this product idea or design for the next couple of years. So, and that's a fancy way of saying, maybe your friend that's a designer that's never designed shoes before is not the right choice. Get yourself a professional designer. Even if you're a designer but you've never designed footwear, get a pro to help you resolve it. Hey, maybe your first go around, hire a pro to help you, and then after that you can take it. But this first one, get some help. Make sure this design is amazing. Okay. Are you missing a realistic capital plan? So understanding how much it's going to cost to develop your footwear project is critically important. And not just so that you know what it is or can get your mind around what this is going to cost, but a lot of the projects, they're going to need some sort of investment, whether you're borrowing the money from your rich uncle or your dad or your mother or your brother or your friends, or you've got some investor on the line. You're going to have to answer some pretty important questions like, hey, what are you going to do with this money? When do you need it? How much do you need? And what exactly are you going to spend it on? And I help people develop realistic capital plans all the time, based on what it's going to take to bring that shoe design to market and those types of details. So understanding what you need, when you need, and how much you're going to need, and why you need it is critically important if you're going to get anyone else on board your project. Lack of a real marketing strategy, and here's where I step aside here so you can say, building a website. Oh, hint. Sorry. Okay, here. Hint. Building a website is not a strategy. Okay, so it's critically important. Yes, a website will be part of your strategy. And some brands I'm working with, they plan to do web only. Well, that's great, but if you just open a storefront, you got to figure out a way to get people to it, right? I'm working with a cool brand. They make this kind of high tech running training shoe, and he started cultivating his clients before the shoe was even ready. And he brought those people sort of along the journey as he was developing the shoe with us. And when the shoe was in prototype stage, he was able to take a photograph, get it onto his website, and start taking orders. So when the shoe landed, he had customers right away. We should all aim to have that, because there's nothing worse than having a container of shoes on the water going, where are we going to sell these? You should know that before you order. Okay. The retail math means figuring out how much the shoe is going to cost in the store and running that price backwards to what you got to pay for from the factory. And having a realistic retail math is critically important, because if you take your beautiful design to a shoe factory and tell them you need them to make it for $3, they're gonna laugh at you. I would never let you do that. I would never let you do that. But you got to do the math so you can understand, hey, if this shoe is real leather and I'm going to import it into the United States, how much is that going to cost? Because, hey, everybody gets a piece of this shoe, right? The truck driver that takes it from the factory to the port, he's got to get paid too. He's not doing this for free, right? Someone's got to buy gas for that truck. So believe it or not, that little slice, that one mouth, has got to get fed. So got to do the math. And we can help you. I mean, it's in the book, it's in the course. Okay, incorrect development timing. So footwear generally, depending on the product, can be seasonal, right? If it's a sandal, if it's a winter boot, if it's a back to school shoe, if it's a soccer shoe, if it's a baseball shoe, if it's a football shoe, these things all have schedules. So if you're going to make a sandal, it's got to be ready to deliver early in the year, right? Because you want your shoes to be in the warehouse by March so they can be in the stores in April, right? Because when the weather turns, people are going to start buying sandals. So that means you have to account for shipping time, month or two. Production time could be 90 days. So all of a sudden, you're half a year away. But if your shoe's not confirmed in that 6 month period, then how are you going to get it to market on time? I worked with a brand that was making sandals, and we hustled. We knew it was an aggressive schedule. We knew it. And the product wasn't right. And when it was right, we had to air it. And it was a difficult decision because when you air product, you're not making money. You're making relationships and you're making market share, but you may not be making money. But hey, if that sandal didn't make it, it was going to be a year before they could launch again. Because how do you launch a sandal in the middle of summer? It's too late. I mean, you might have it available, but the stores they're already stocked. They're not looking to buy new sandals in the summertime. They have it already. You missed the boat. Now, could a business last a whole year before they could start again? You don't know. That's difficult. So sometimes you have to make that difficult decision. But understanding in advance how long it's going to take and having a realistic expectation of that is critically important. Okay. 8, not recognizing your limits. Hey, if this is the first time you've done this, then get help. And I think this is quite critical because I work with folks that they have an idea, they make a drawing, they find a factory in Alibaba that takes their drawing, and when the shoe lands on their desk and you're looking at it, but have you ever made a shoe? Do you actually know what you're looking at? Do you have the skills or the experience to analyze it? You might not. So you might be able to evaluate it from its functional perspective if underwater bowling is your sport and you've made a shoe for that and you can try that. But really looking at how the shoe is manufactured, you should unless you've been in the business, right? You should probably get some help with that. As an example, if you don't know how to make a financial plan, then you should get help with that, right? If you have not done brand identity and you're not sure, then get some help. Don't worry, you can't do it all yourself. So that's just part of recognizing your limits. Not targeting customers before you're ordering. And this is pretty critical. You've got to know where these shoes are going to go. You better have an idea. If you say, yeah, when the shoe arrives, I'm going to take a sample to Foot Locker and see if they buy it. That's not how it works. You need to have that shoe in front of Foot Locker before you buy it. Because then they're going to ask you, how much does it cost and when can I have it? And the answer usually is not tomorrow. The answer is, they're planning months in advance. So you want to be able to say, yeah, I can have this shoe in 6 months. And that's normal. That's typical. But really, it's important that you understand where the shoe's going to go. Is it going to land in your driveway, and you're gonna set up a website and try to sell it one by one, or are you going to visit a store? So you really should have a good idea. You could say this is a distribution plan, right? But you really got to know where this thing's going to go before you order it. Realistic expectations. Hey, is your company going to make a profit in the first year? Maybe. I doubt it. By the time you launch a brand, you build up your brand, your marketing, you buy equipment, you order pairs. I mean, if you're buying, maybe 10,000 pairs, maybe you'll get some profit. But if you're starting with small quantity, a couple thousand pairs, by the time you buy the equipment, do the marketing, create the website, all that other stuff, hire the designer, all that stuff, you're not going to make much money. But that's okay. I mean, you're trying to get started, you're trying to learn. You're trying to get your face in front of, or your brand in front of people's faces so they can see it. So do your planning, have realistic expectations. Take it step by step. These things don't happen quickly, and you're going to have setbacks. But if you sort of can answer these questions, right? And that's why it comes to you're the boss, right? You know, this is your brand. You've gotta evaluate what it's for, who you're going to sell it to. You know, no one can make that decision for you. You are the, you know, if it's your company and you're a small brand, you're the product manager, you're the business manager, you're the category manager. You're going to wear lots of hats. You're going to have the confidence to be able to make these decisions, but also the vision to close your eyes and imagine what you want this thing to look like. So, and then drive your decisions based on that. So you're the boss. So back to our 10 plans, right? Hey, if you're missing one or two plans, get help with those, right? And this should give you the confidence to know that you're doing it right. And we talk about this in the course. We have case studies of brands that we've helped in the past few years, to really help you see how this is done. This is sort of a step-by-step price sheet of what development can cost. You know, some of the numbers start to look a little scary, but that's okay. You do it piece by piece. You know, you might take a few $1,000s to get that design figured out, but once you get that prototype, you can decide: do I do the next step, or who can I show it to get it evaluated and to build confidence that we should be doing this? Just go step by step. And listen, if you're not sure where to start, then hey, actually, you're in a good spot. You're here with me today, and you know, this is what Shoemakers Academy is about. We are teaching people the business, and we want to teach you enough about how shoes are made in the factory, how to do the math, what's inside these shoes, how to start your own company. So all that information's here. We have, of course, these books. We have a whole curriculum of courses, and you know, these first few courses here, these are sort of the foundation. And as you dig deep, as you go down the page, you get into the weeds about all these other aspects of how the footwear business works. So go ahead, dig deeper, get into it. Hey, listen, thank you. You know, come to the website, or down in the description, you'll see a link to, you can arrange a chat with me. You can email me. You can call me. Here's a discount code for our courses. This is SMAEM50. This is $50 course cash on any of our courses. So go ahead, give a course a try. You know, if you enjoyed this video, there's about 100 hours, no, 50, I was going to say 150 lessons, about 50 hours of me talking about the shoe business. If you're not sick of me yet, then go check out those courses, and we can help you get started. So you can do this. You just got to have a plan. Thanks a lot, folks. We'll see you in the next video. Maybe. Yes, we will. Click it. Subscribe. Thanks.